welcome back, guys. I know short turnaround for our previous recording. We had to record on Good Friday, but you know what? You guys are the best. We appreciate it. Fortunately, we could not do another in-person episode. We both got working lives in Michigan on either
Tough.
ends of the state, so you know how it do. But I am happy to report that's the amount of games we won in a row. It is insane. Diego and I teamed up on Saturday, and we just absolutely mopped the
Oh,
floor with
that
every
was
single person in pickup. It was such a good feeling. Diego even got into it. He even got in a scram with somebody. It was insane.
that was
But
pretty wild.
knees held up for both of us, so we're thriving out here. Yep,
Almost.
my man just somebody
Yeah.
like took Diego by the arm, just completely like roundhouse threw him
Yeah.
like onto the floor, and they were beefing. Man, I had to get him psyched out of the game, like
It's
to make sure
funny.
he was still in because he was about to lose that game. But Diego, how are you doing, man?
Good. And this elbow was like I was playing. I was just like, yo, don't feel my bone at all. That's fun. But it ended up being fine. Played my game yesterday. Unfortunately, we lost. But overall, pretty good. Playoff basketball, man, is just needed injected in my veins. It might be a replay of last year where I was just staying up till 12:30 every night because I just had to watch these games, and that's the case. I mean, we're gonna talk about Clippers Nugs last night, even the game before. Just all of it. We're gonna review it.
That
Big
that's been my favorite series so far.
easily. And then big news coming out today. Your sixth man of the year winner is Peyton Pritchard. Big reveal. Who would have thought? We all were expecting this.
Ty Jerome got robbed.
I wish Ty Jerome, but no, the Celtics are so good, and Peyton Pritchard helps the Celtics. I don't care. But good for Peyton Pritchard, I guess.
Honestly, Peyton Pritchard deserved it. I'm just trying to get some Ty Jerome blood because man dropped 30 points in his
Yeah,
first playoff game.
Ty
Insane.
Jerome, him.
That is crazy. But we're not here to talk about the Cavs right now. We're here to talk about the Warriors and the Rockets. Bad Rockets or great Warriors?
Oof. I think the biggest thing is just the Rockets. A big part of their game is getting offensive rebounds because, like we said, they're not very skilled in that sense of finishing sometimes or making shots. But man, some of these shots they missed were really difficult. And I love the way that Steph Curry punished them for being too aggressive on him. You top block, boom, back cut. Just stuff like that that's just so nice. And Steph Curry hitting some insane, almost Olympic looking shots. I thought that was awesome. And yeah, I feel like no and the Rockets kind of mount a comeback here in the fourth quarter. Could have done something. Would have been amazing to win that game when Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet kind of lay some big goose
They
eggs
didn't show up.
overall. Yeah, so Şengün he was a leading scorer by a good amount. Like obviously he didn't play amazingly, but he was their top guy there scoring. So I think
I
I
just gotta
think
say that when they went on a 7-0 run to start the game, when he absolutely demolished Draymond on that dunk,
yeah.
I was so happy. I was so happy. I was like, dang, the Rockets are for real. And then the downfall happened.
Yeah, I mean, I love Şengün dunking just because you don't think he's that athletic, but he really doesn't need to be, right? He's like a 7 footer. He could just yam it on someone, as per example, Draymond. But I think a big thing in this game is just shows what the difference in between these two teams. You have right Jimmy Butler saying, "Yeah, we're young. We're 37, 35, 36. Him, Steph, and Draymond. These guys have a lot of experience, a lot of playoff games, and a lot of know-how. And these Rockets are very young, a bit unskilled overall, but it's going to be a good series. But I still see the Warriors shaking it out here. They don't play until tomorrow. Yeah, so excited to see that game. But it was a good game one, definitely interesting. It was worth a good Sunday night watch. So I'm glad I got to watch it. Is there anything else? Just a lot of history here.
I think one thing to point out here before we move on is one thing the offense struggles with Houston, like the Rockets have been struggling with. Obviously,
Mm.
85 points, not a great night, especially if you hold a team to 95 points. You expect to
Yeah.
win with a semi decent, especially in this NBA. But one thing to note is over 82 games, the Houston offense faces zone defense on 300 possessions. Fifth most
That's
in the league.
nothing. Oh,
So they had zero point 0.9 points per possession
In the regular
27th in
season.
the NBA against his zone defenses.
Jeez.
So that's one thing to take into account. You saw the Warriors play different looks, like a 1-3-1 zone, 2-3
Mhm.
boxes and elbows. Like they were mixing it up. And I love the big lineups that
Yeah, the
Udoka would roll
Rockets.
out. They looked great in theory, not great in practice. You had Jamari Smith, Steven Adams, and
Shingun,
Şengün all
Amen.
playing on the same floor. That's great if you want to get offensive rebounding and rebounds, which Houston did a great job of doing it. But if you have Tari Eason and Amin Thompson on the floor ever
Yeah.
and together in the same lineups, they're both not like spacing threats at this point of their careers.
Hmm.
So for the Warriors to switch to zone defense, you're asking a lot out of like the outside guys other than them to carry the load offensively. So that is something to keep an eye on because this could be a quicker series than you and I both expect if Houston cannot figure out the zone defense problem.
Yep. But I guess shout out to Steven Adams, man. I don't even know how old he is. He's like 30 something years old. My man ripped a rebound away from Jay Butler. Like, I don't care almost anyone you play against except the Nuggets. I think Steven Adams is the strongest guy on the floor. And he just anything
There's one
touching
possession where he got like 4 rebounds in a row by himself.
yeah. Like you just the ball grazes his fingertips, that's his rebound. You thought it was your rebound? No, not anymore. Steven Adams. I just love it. And I think that was part of the reason they made this comeback is just getting offensive rebounds, picking up on those points. So yeah, that's kind of all. It's kind of all here.
They lost by 10 considering they out rebounded offensively. Offensive
Yeah.
rebound 22-6 on the Warriors.
What about the turnovers as well? I feel like that was even or went the Warriors' way. Something
I,
went the
I don't
Warriors' way, stats wise.
I don't have the stats on it. And I know Jalen Green has been not playing well the past couple games, but I'm not going to take the last regular season games into account for like I'm just here to make a point. He's averaging
Yeah.
5.25 points over his last 4 games. So he's
Jeez.
gotta he's gotta figure it out quick. Like last 3
Yep.
games of the regular season in this game 1. So I'm not reading too much into the last 3 games because the Rockets have solidified their seed by then. And he's
Yep.
not playing the minutes that you would warrant getting 5 points in.
So
But this is a guy that's a 40% catch and shoot player from 3.
Jalen
So
Green.
like you don't expect him to have 5 points in the game.
Yeah.
So he's got to step it up, and Van Vliet's got to generate better looks. Like otherwise, this team is in a world of hurt offensively. If this continues.
No, I mean, I was checking the stats. The turnovers are pretty similar, only a difference of 3. The Rockets win in points in the paint by 20. All right, that's huge.
And they only put up 85 points to show for it. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, 54 of their points were in the paint. Wild. But the big thing is you shoot less than 40%, 39.1% overall, 20.7% from deep, and you can make more than 55% of your free throws. That's it. I mean, that's the game. You could do everything else you want, but if you can't put the ball in the basket, you're gonna lose. And a big thing the Warriors win on is fast break points. One of those first 3 Steph Curry hit, I think. No, I don't remember, but he hits one in transition. Van Vliet is too slow getting up on him. Bang, 3 ball. It's just you gotta make the shots. That's it. And
100% agree.
everyone says it. The Rockets are just one scorer, true scorer. I don't even know. Like Jalen Green is a scorer. Alperen Şengün scorer, but just a guy that you could say Kawhi. We'll talk about him later. KD, Curry, LeBron, you bucket now, and that's what they need, and they don't have that, and that's why they're struggling. So, game 2 tomorrow night. I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Should be good.
And the Knicks seemingly have moving on to the Knicks and Pistons. They have the opposite problem. Minus the 21-0 run they had to start the 4th quarter, which is wild in itself.
Yeah.
There was one possession where, okay, first off, before I get into it, campaign, 4 minutes played, picks up 3 fouls all in the 1st quarter.
Really?
Like right when he checks in. Like if he played overall like 4 or 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
how do you pick up 3 fouls in 5 minutes? Like, are you serious right now? Like that's you're supposed to give Jalen Brunson some breathing room, man. He can't even breathe because he got to worry about you getting in foul trouble. That's not gonna help.
Yeah, not
He
helpful.
only put 37 points. We don't want him playing 40 minutes to do
Mm,
that. Come on. But
yeah.
there's one possession where either Payne or McBride loses the ball, and then there's another guy from the corner like trying to collect the ball. Shot clock draining down. They're just like flopping around and tossing it, and they end up hitting the rim on the look, but it just looks so disorganized. And I think
Hmm.
that's what's going on with the Knicks. Like that's like metaphorically like what's going on with them against the Pistons. Because I think either the Pistons defense is surprising them, but coming into the playoffs, the Knicks have the fifth most efficient offense in the NBA.
Hmm.
And that was good enough for third in the Eastern Conference. Now, we preface this by saying this is not a serious contender when relative to the Cavs and the Celtics, but I didn't think they'd be struggling this much because the Pistons this early into the series. You look at Mikal Bridges, um, Jalen Brunson, Cat, like OG Anunoby. They all look like amazing scorers on the team, but they all play like they're all trying to take the credit for
Hmm.
defeating like a team by themselves rather
Yeah.
than playing as one team. It is the oddest thing I've seen. Like I I don't know how to describe what's going on, but they are not playing like they did in the regular season, like efficiency number wise.
Yeah. And I mean, I couldn't watch all of this game. I watched the fourth quarter of game two, and man, it's just insane that the Pistons are shooting. They only made 6 threes in game two, and they come out winning this game. Karl Anthony Towns, best self-proclaimed best shooting big man of all time. Where you at?
He didn't take a shot attempt
Yeah, in the second
since
half.
5:20 in the third quarter. A shot
Oh, really?
attempt. A shot
Really?
attempt. He didn't attempt a shot
That's wild.
for like more than a quarter and a half.
Yeah, he's being guarded by Tobias Harris, bro. Like the whole thing about Cat, he's a great shooter, right? But that opens up his drive game, bro. Tobias Harris is clamping you up. I guess so. And I mean, shout out to Tobias Harris. He had a crazy game one. Fortunately, I don't want to say went to waste, but they didn't win. Um, and now he has a crazier game clamping up Cat a little bit. That's very interesting. Asar Thompson as well in the second game, fouling out really quickly. There's a lot of talk on Twitter about Jalen Brunson foul baiting, and how that's something people are getting annoyed at. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch everything, but I just watched Jalen Brunson bring the ball up, get a screen, sees his defender behind him, or no, he makes him jump, makes Tobias Harris jump, then jumps into him and gets 3 shots, and he's just right there like I got 3 shots right there. And it's like that's not
Well,
that's
he
that's
certainly
not
ticked off
basketball.
Dennis Schroeder. They were going at it in game
Yeah.
two.
And then
Like it
Dennis Schroeder
was,
hits that big three.
yeah, he's not gonna let that go. But one
Mm-hmm.
thing about Jalen Brunson I want to bring up in this game in particular, he took 27 shots, while Cat,
Jeez.
OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, they all combined for 39 shots in the entire
Dang.
game. So like it's you got it. I know I prefaced it by saying like everybody's trying to take the credit, but really it was just like the Brunson show, and
Mm-hmm.
that I credit him for putting the amount of points he did. But like you gotta spread the ball a little bit. Like this team is too talented to fully rely on one player. There's a
Yeah.
lot like that all of them can do at once. They put a lot of assets into putting this team together. So um, having it just be all on Brunson is not a good look.
Yep. Definitely. And yeah, I mean, big thing here, Kate Cunningham dropping 33 points. Just demon. And I'm excited because I'm going to be at game three. I was telling Josh earlier, Thursday night, game three, got some discount tickets for my friend. It's on my basketball team. I'm excited. I don't know if I'm more excited for the Pistons possibly winning this game and possibly the series, or I'm getting a free shirt that probably says back to work. Like those are pretty two exciting things for me. So and free, I'm paying for the ticket, but it's gonna be fun, man. And I want to see. It's just a crazy turnaround. I'm excited to watch this game, and yeah, I don't know really what else to say. Malik Beasley, let's see him shoot some threes. I feel like he wasn't really on this last game. And then Tom Thibodeau being like Jalen Brunson didn't get enough foul calls. I feel like that was kind of steep because he's kind of foul baiting. And I think he got like 24. He got 22 fouls drawn or shots while Cade had 24. Like Tom Thibodeau was like, Cade Cunningham, we've got way too many fouls, and Jalen didn't get any.
Well,
Kind of,
Cade is actually like attacking the
yeah,
basket with like
yeah,
authority, where like Jalen Brunson's just like turn around, oh, got you in the air, looks like you lose. Like
yeah.
it's great while you're hitting those shots, but like when you're not,
Mm-hmm.
it's just come on, man. You got to get the others in the room.
It's the balance. It's the balance between actually trying to make the shot and you're up in the air, bang. That's my foul right there. That's my shots. And obviously, right, free throws are free. You do want to shoot free throws, but there's just it's what's the intention, you know? That's the biggest thing for me, and I think other people as well. What are you really looking for? Yeah, Pistons looking spicy, and I'm hoping to see them even hotter and spicier on Thursday.
There's no hotter and spicier series than the Nuggets and the Clippers right now.
Yes, I want
This
this series injected in my veins.
100%. The fact that these teams are facing in the first round is a travesty
Yeah,
because this could easily be a Western Conference Finals series. The way these two players are like players meaning Leonard and Jokic
yeah.
playing out of
Well,
their minds. Like Jokic played a bad game.
yeah. I was
His
gonna say,
bad game in game 2 was 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. That was his bad game
yo, talk about the free
because
throws.
he
Though. The
had
free
7
throws.
turnovers. But the bigger story again is Kawhi Leonard is fully back. Fully Toronto, Kawhi Leonard's been back 2 games now.
Oof.
I know he had a lot of
Oof.
turnovers in game 1. A lot of it was the Nuggets doubling and reading him perfectly, which I was
Mm-hmm.
surprised by because when Kawhi's playing like this, you don't see many teams or players get him. And the Nuggets have
Yeah,
had a couple of like high IQ turnovers that are just like, wow, how did they understand what this computer processing mastermind is able to do?
yeah.
But enough about that. 19 he took 19 shots,
I had 39
39
points.
points.
Oh,
Turnaround, mid-range, bam. Dribbles up the floor, 1-2, bam. Does not matter. This guy is just he is Mr. Automatic. Like a killer efficiency is what this guy made like made him so great on the offensive end. We always knew he was good on defense from the Spurs when he clamped your GOAT LeBron. He clamped him completely.
yeah.
And then also clamped Jokic in the last possession of the game. That is
Mm-hmm.
wow. Like
Yeah.
he's fully back and nobody is safe in the Western Conference if this guy's playing the way like not with
Yeah.
Harden and Powell and Zubac playing the way they are to support him. It's it's wraps. It's wrap. There's a reason why I picked the Clip because they were playing really good. Like not even
Mm-hmm.
the Warriors could take them down. It is insane at the level they're playing right now in Denver, where they could easily be up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah.
But don't want to take anything from the Nuggets. Nuggets are playing out of their minds, especially Westbrook in the corner threes is hitting is
Yeah, man.
insane. Insane.
It's very interesting. Big other guys here. I think Chris Dunn was someone I just in the first game he hit a few threes and it felt a lot better. He was 1 of 4, 2 of 7 overall in this game. But big guy for the Nuggets, which made me kind of scared that the Nuggets were going to win this, is Michael Porter Jr. 15 rebounds. I'm not even going to say how many points he had because he was hitting shots. But obviously Jokic didn't like call him out and say, MPJ, what are you doing, bro? You're Schmidt. But the reporter asked him, well, my MPJ was kind of off, like seemed like he didn't have the energy. What he had to say, he's like, well, if you're not gonna play up to the level in the playoffs, like, what are you kind of doing? But he's like, but uh, then he said, yeah, this team is scouted him, knows what he wants to do, makes it a little bit harder. And MPJ said, well, if I'm not gonna score the same way, I'm gonna get some rebounds, and he got 15 rebounds. I don't know about offensive. Let's say offensive rebounds here. Oh yes, he had wrong team. He had 6 offensive rebounds, man. That's huge. That's like you're 6'10". He might play like a guard a little bit with the shooting, but you gotta remember you're a big body. Now, obviously, you can't play defense like that, but he's gonna be doing some stuff. And exciting stuff there. Chris Dunn. One thing I liked in this game is the last game they were just switching screens that Jokic would set or get set on, and then you have Chris Dunn, James Harden on Jokic, and I was like, what is this? And instead now they kind of have like a hedge and then this later switch. I like that a little bit better.
And Chris
Or at
Dunn
least-
has gotten the Nuggets a couple of times. Like he has been,
Yeah.
to me, he's been the most impressive role player in the series. Like
sure.
like the corner threes, he's been automatic reliable. The amount of pressure he's
Yeah.
putting on the ball, like you could clearly see the regular season was not an anomaly. He has grown leaps and bounds as a player.
Yeah, since he played on the Bulls. And one
Hey.
play that was kind of insane is I think he closes out on Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray drives, and so like Jamal Murray's over here on the left, and he goes that way. Instead of turning around, Chris Dunn just like backpedals with his arm back, kind of like that Kawhi no look steal vibe, and that was pretty cool to see on Twitter. That's like Chris Dunn is a great defender, and it's awesome he's on this team. Going back to game one funny thing was ball goes out of bounds, lands in the Clippers area, bench area. Jeff Van Gundy gets the ball. It's not just him though; another assistant's helping him out. And Jokic is like, we have to inbound the ball so they can't challenge. So he's trying to grab. He has the hands on the ball too. And then Jeff Van Gundy and his assistant are holding it back, trying to keep it so they can decide whether they want to challenge or not. Awesome moment right there. And it's even better when you think 30 years ago, there's a fight between the Knicks and the Heat in the playoffs, I believe. And Jeff Van Gundy is there as well, holding on to Alonzo Mourning's ankle.
Starting beef.
It's just so funny that my man it's literally a lifetime, 30 years, and just still he's back at it. Nothing's changed, and I like it. And he's the guy they're crediting with the defense, and I'm glad he's back. You know, his brother was on the call. Stan was on the call for this game, and it's so funny. it's great. So yeah, great game, great series. Back to
I just
LA
want to go
on
7 games, man. I like, which I don't want either of these teams to lose a series.
I want the
and I don't know how that's going to get resolved. Like it's just they're both playing the smartest basketball you'll see, and it's just like, how are you going to top this? Like it's insane what's going on right now. Such a shame they're meeting this early in the playoffs, but great basketball. Like this is like the peak basketball. This is why the playoffs are so nice. So
yeah. You said you don't want anyone to lose in the series. I want the Nuggets to lose. Everyone, just let you know right there.
And not the Lakers. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Honestly, after that, we'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah, man, if the Clippers weren't playing the Thunder in the next round, they would be Western Conference locks. And even then, I think they're gonna give. I think they'll win a game or two at least on the Thunder. Well, also they're gonna be worn. They're gonna be worn out playing 7 games, and the Thunder might just roll on by. So
they
might
true.
have some rest.
That is true.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Speaking of the Lakers, next on the docket, Ant-Man.
Yeah.
My goodness, it did not matter. He that what he did to Luka, insane.
That was insane.
LeBron, that's crazy. He frustrated LeBron. Like it's this guy and like Nas Reed going crazy. Like it is
not missing shots.
Everybody was making threes. Like it was ridiculous. Like
it's huge.
This is a team that could put up 52 in a quarter. Just want to let you know that. Like it has happened this season. And they proved like when they get hot, no team is like hotter than the Timberwolves. And it was just ridiculous. So yeah. I mean, what else can you say? Ant-Man is him.
Ant-Man is him. Like making the right decisions. This is a big question we had. Is Ant-Man just gonna take all these shots and say, yo, I'm double teamed, I'm chugging this up? No. He's making passes. He's like, if he's doubled, boom, wide open, boom, wide open. And they're making those shots. So that's awesome for him. One strategy, I guess, that JJ Redick came up with was for Luka to guard Ant. And then either he gets blown by, tries his best, maybe stops him once or twice, gets blown by, and then rotations from there. I didn't really understand that. It was kind of nice to see another team that isn't necessarily my team, although the Lakers are my second favorite team. But it was nice to see another team that isn't my team be affected by Luka's lack of defense in the playoffs. But either way, Luka showed up. Not really much else from anyone else. LeBron, this might be glazing, but LeBron might have tweaked something in the last game he played against the Rockets. I think it was 2 Fridays ago. From this Friday coming up, so that might be why he's off. Now you could say, Diego, you're a LeBron fan. You're just covering for him. Maybe I am. That's just what I've heard. I'm running with it to cover for my goat.
How do you explain Reeves?
I don't.
Who do you
I'm
say
not.
LeBron, Bert?
All I know is about LeBron. I don't know about Reeves. Reeves might be scared of people from Minnesota. I don't know. I don't know what. And it's weird because they were at home too. So it's like, why? How does this happen? It's gonna be a big game
Man
tonight.
stole the show, man.
I love that about Ant. He's just not. He's not scared of anything, man. Like, how are you just?
I actually do want to dive into that.
Mm-hmm.
Reading an article about this today.
Yeah.
I think this is especially important because in the beginning of the year we were like, why is Dante DiVincenzo struggling? This team is a mess. There is some backstory behind this. This is kind of like the behind the scenes you don't hear until you get like an insider article about. So, I think the things that stand out to teammates of Ant Edwards, Nas Reed has said it. Like you would think Ant Edwards is 30. The crazy thing is that he's the leader in the room, being the youngest guy, with Mike Conley in the same locker room is insane. And from Edwards' perspective, one thing you mentioned is 15 grown men in the locker room. Everybody's got emotions, knowing how to talk to everybody. You can't deliver the message to the same guy for guys 1 through 15. You got to pull them to the side. Some you can cuss different ways. While DiVincenzo struggling around Thanksgiving, he and Edwards were both in the same gym on Thanksgiving morning. And the man that had a giant mural of Anthony Edwards like in the gym, and the one starring in an Adam Sandler movie, Ant Edwards. DiVincenzo has Ant Edwards' sneakers, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like his signature sneakers. Was shooting the ball and Ant Edwards was rebounding for him. Think about that. Like I know you see this in pickup all the time where people are just rebounding from other random people, but like Ant doesn't have to do that. Like he knows like for his teammate in order to get like support, like he needs to be there for him and just be like, okay, I'm gonna be there with you. We're gonna work on this together. We'll get it done. And I think that's just such a powerful moment on like for a detailed shooter like DiVincenzo, like how do you get your mojo back? And you could see how it went insane because in this playoff game, the next night when they faced the Clippers, DiVincenzo went 3 of 5, Edwards went 4 of 9 from 3. So you could see from that game to the end of the season the change in DiVincenzo's shooting game, like 43% on his threes. That's insane. Like that is wow. Like it's like so the leadership and what he does behind the scenes I think is super important, and I think you saw it on display in game 1 where everybody feeds off his confidence, his trash talk, his like positive energy every single time you see that. So I just have to say that like that plays a big role in like the tough moments like this. So
talking about trash talk, Ant got fined $50,000 today for saying his third leg is bigger than some fans. Very funny stuff. I mean, my man is all-time leader in fines for just saying the craziest things. But I like that article, especially because, right, going back to that point of helping your teammate get shots up, right? And could, like you said, he doesn't have to do that. He could be doing anything else. But the fact, not only, right, it's just like, oh, this guy is invested in me, Ant Edwards. I have his shoes, but he's still down to rebound for me, help me get better. Because he knows not only is it good for me, but it's good for him as well. And we come together as a team. And not only that, not just for Dante to get better, but just get used to those passes. I mean, how many passes did Dante catch from Ant in this game to make shots? I don't know, but definitely multiple, right? I hope. So very important stuff here. So team chemistry. There's nothing that chemistry between two people or a team can be replaced with. You could have like the dream team and just put them on a court one day and they might not play better than, and I'm talking about the 2024 like L'Avengers dream team. You could put all that team on a court one day with no training and put put like the French team or some team that's played years and years and years together, they might win. They might lose that. The dream team might lose because they don't have that chemistry. And that's the most important thing. You can have your Chino Hills team with all the talent in the world, but if they're not locked in and they don't know each other, they're not gonna work. So big thing in basketball. In the book of Basketball by Bill Simmons, he talks about that the Pistons trade Adrian Dantley, one of the greatest scorers of all time, for Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre was just a dude, kind of, and then they win their first championship in the Bad Boys era because of that. So it's not always about who you have, but how you guys play together. Crazy, man. But
So what you're saying is, you can have LeBron, the Don, and Austin Reeves on. The Lakers down in 5.
Jeez, it's possible. It's possible from what I'm saying. I wasn't even thinking I was proving that point, but I mean, even if you're the Lakers and you lose in an embarrassing fashion, this team is not anywhere close to where it will be with Luka. So you're not worried about that. You're just here. You're literally. It might be a hot take. The Lakers are playing with house money right now. They're not. They shouldn't be stressed, and they. Especially if it might be like a Warriors thing. You get to the.
They lost home court advantage, man. I don't know.
It's true, but they might not get to the finals, but they might fall short of where they want to go. And some players gonna say, "Lakers need someone of my skill set." Random player, I would like to go there. Yo, team, get me there. Exactly. So it's possible, or they sign there as a free agent. So
I think this is. If you've seen Shannon Sharp ever give a Lakers in 5 seconds, I sent Diego like a remix of that, and it's just I couldn't stop laughing at that, so I had to throw that dig in there. But
no, it's pretty
I mean, all the credit in the world for the Timberwolves on what they're doing. I just hope they keep it up, make this a competitive series, and then we'll see what the marbles like show us. So
yeah, good recap.
All right. Underrated series. It ended up being like a 121-100 kind of game, but it was a lot closer than it was.
Okay. I'm glad you watched. Yeah.
Cavs and the Heat. I don't know what it is, but like when the playoffs come around, the Heat just turn it on. So it was a very, very difficult game for the Cavs, and make no mistake about it. But Donovan Mitchell was just on another level. Like it was like for baskets, like for any shots around the basket, he went 7 of 8. It was like even when Miami went zone, it didn't matter. It was high intensity game. Crowd got into it. Like several players stood out. Like Sam Merrill just went like he had great moments. But I think no other player had a crazier game than Ty Jerome. That guy was automatic. He was like every time the Cavs needed like a high stress bucket, he provided it. And I think the moral of the story is Mitchell taking a backseat. We talked about this last week. Yeah. Him taking a backseat has unlocked everything for this Cavs team.
Yep, and that's a big thing in general. This is something I like to say, and I've said this multiple times. There's 5 players on the court. If you just have one guy with the ball all the time, a la heliocentric Luka, LeBron offense, that's good, and he's going to make points. But if you have all 5 guys dangerous with the ball, the 2014 Spurs, very European basketball ideology, it's so much more difficult to guard because I could try to help off this guy. Oh, no, we got the pass. Oh, another pass. Oh, we're all in blender rotation, and we don't know what we're doing. It's just very, very helpful for a team. And obviously helps the team chemistry. And I think especially the fact that in the regular season, Donovan Mitchell kind of took a step back. He's now even more like ready and loaded to do what he needs to be done. Like what if in one series the Cavs need him? They're like, Donovan, please, we've tried everything. We have nothing. You carry us to the promised land, and he does it. It'll be exciting. I didn't really watch this game. That was Easter, so I was busy, unfortunately. But I do know like Tyler Hero was starting to get attacked by Ty Jerome, like offensively on the defensive end. Because like who you have was that? It's not Donovan Mitchell, the other Mitchell. Davion Mitchell. He's the only other kind of guard defender they have, really.
He's been playing really good too. Like I don't want
Yeah.
to discredit like what the Heat have done. Like he's
No, they've been playing
defensively,
reasonably.
he's given them like very close to what Jimmy Butler provided.
Yeah, for a guard. But it's just not. It's not the same. The Cavs are just a top tier team in this league, and right, that's why they're the 1 seed. And I think this game, right, still a difficult game for the Cavs, but they pull it out at home, and I see no reason to keep that going throughout the series. So it's good for them. They deserve it.
Ty
I do
Jerome
also like
made
Ty
for the
Jerome. Yeah,
spotlight, man. He's made for the spotlight. I think this game kind of solidified.
yeah,
You need a TJ McConnell, Ty Jerome, like Peyton Pritchard type player. Like you
yeah.
have to have that guy in the roster.
Just a bench creator guy. Microwave, a la Vinny Johnson. Who knows about this? He was the originator of the microwave nickname. Love that guy. He was also on the Bad Boys Pistons. Yeah,
Microwave player turned Thunder star did not have a great showing, but it didn't matter because the Thunder absolutely demolished the Grizzlies by 50 plus points in game one.
mm,
Do you think they're sweeping them?
yes. Take out the brooms. I just bought a broom. New broom. I'm offering my broom to Oklahoma City Thunder. Just sweep them. It's like what's this? They're up by 15 right now in the second quarter, 36-21. The Thunder had a sub 20-point quarter, or the Grizzlies. Am I surprised? No.
They're pissed.
So, yeah.
The Thunder are pissed from last year.
Was it last year or that game? Or are you saying like Grizzlies specific or just playoffs in general?
Just playoffs, like how they ended the playoffs and everything like that.
Yep. Yeah. And this was even a bad Shea game in game one, and they still mollywopped them. Like that's insane. And I'm happy for the Thunder. They're a 60-win team. They were a 57-win team last year. You do what you gotta do. I think sweeping like they did last year will give them a good chance of doing what they need to in the second round. So exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. And we're
I
seeing
just
now
want to
they're
say
up by
the double
17.
big lineups with Hardenstein and Holmgren, they
Mhm.
shot 48.3% for 29 shots, so
Jeez.
14 to 29.
Fire.
And they outscored the Grizzlies by 14 when they shared the court together. So
Yeah.
just a big thing, especially when you got like guys like Edie and Jackson on the opposite side. That's the Grizzlies actually can match them personnel for personnel, but it's just talent level is just
Yeah.
night and day different.
I think Zach is just a bit like Hardenstein is big. He's a 7-footer. But he's so much more agile than Edie, and I feel like Edie could
Oh,
get
100%.
taken advantage.
Edie, I get so annoyed watching him play. Like
Yeah.
he clearly looks like 2 or 3 steps slower than like the average NBA like center that you need to have in these playoffs.
It's because think about it. You have your whole system at Purdue where you are the guy defensively. They just ask you, "Yo, Edie, just sit there in the paint." I don't even know if there's 3 seconds in college. I could feel like there isn't.
I
But
don't think so. I can
yeah,
check
so
that.
he could just sit there. Like you're 7'5". Why do you need to move? And so that was one reason. I have friends that are from Purdue or went to Purdue, and I would just be like, Edie's just not making it to the league. He's just too slow. He's gonna get exposed. And I mean, that's what we're seeing. Like you need to tailor your whole defense around him, and that's not really where the league is going. Unfortunately for him, I mean, he's gonna make his money, and I think he's gonna be a good backup center, starting center on a reasonable team. But it's gonna be hard for him to really do much unless he gets better at passing, shooting. Like I don't know, Jokic. He could follow some Jokic with the shooting. Like learn how to shoot, man. That'll do it.
I think the one thing to take into account is the Grizzlies did play like 36 hours later, game
I know.
one,
I was gonna say
the
that.
playing tournament. But with the score being what it is now, and Shea having the performance he did,
Yeah.
if Shea goes like 15 points off of poor shooting, and you have Caruso and I think it was Case and Wallace, and we had like 2 points combined.
Wow.
If that's not going to happen very many times, like those two situations, like that's not going to happen at all. Like,
Yep.
granted, you're going to have Wiggins have 20 points randomly. Jalen Williams average 20. Like Chet Holmgren and Hardenstein like have their blocks and impact, but you're not going to see Caruso, Wallace, and like Shea get limited the way they are. Like they're just
Yeah.
10 deep. You're gonna have to contend with it, and I don't think the Grizzlies have the depth or the talent on the top to compete.
No, they definitely do not. So it's tough, man. It's tough for them. But and I agree with what you said. They did kind of get screwed over on that timing, but
I mean, did they though? You were the 3 seed. You botched it. You botched it towards the end.
I mean, I won't say they didn't screw themselves, but the things in their control didn't help. So, or out of their control did not help, is what I meant to say. But yeah.
One thing that Dame got past that's out of his control is the blood clots. Happy that he's playing now. He's got 11 points, 3 of 6 shooting. At the half, it is an 8-point game.
Yeah, it's
Bucks are right
definitely.
into it. So Bobby Portis finally helping out Giannis too. So like that's gonna help. But game one left a lot to be desired. I don't know how they're playing now. We'll check after this podcast gets over. But
Mhm.
man, like it's Nemhard. Nemhard's going off. McConnell,
Yeah.
Tyrese. Like it does not matter. Pacers Fieldhouse Arena was
Gamebridge Fieldhouse.
insane. You
Yeah.
felt it through the TV how many people were there, and I think the Bucks got battled. As
Hmm.
simple as that.
I mean, I feel like I talked about it with someone, but it wasn't you. But the Kyle Kuzma like playoff Tony Snell performance is
He was
insane.
so bad.
And before the podcast, the game had started, I was watching a little bit. My dog shoots 2 shots, 2 layups in the first like 3 minutes, misses both. Uh, I commend the effort. I commend the effort, but that's just so tough to be in that position where it's like, oh, late, no, missed it. Oh, get the rebounder pass late, no, missed it. So he's trying this time. I saw him on Tyrese in this game. That first game was a tough watch. I mean, I was tired from our playing basketball. I think you were too. Fell asleep, but it just it's so hard for me to be so invested in this when I just have the feeling the Bucks just can't do it. No, we were just saying before they're a defensive player away, right? A perimeter guard, but
Yeah, if they
I
only had
can't
like an
convince
all-star
myself.
guard that was a really defensive menace, like that would kind of help things.
Yeah, they just don't have the foot speed. So, but who knows? They can maybe steal a game here. I mean, this is an interesting thing about the playoffs to me is that you as a road team, you technically shouldn't win any games per the home team's home court advantage. So if any road game you win gives you that advantage of now you have home court advantage. So it's kind of that balance of like we lost, but we were supposed to lose. So just kind of like resetting and just saying like, well, we lost game one, we weren't at home. We could win game two. Now we have home court advantage. You know what I mean? I just kind of might have the
And
face
they
made.
and they could win tonight. Like we'll have to
Yeah.
see how they look, but like if there are players I would look at, one lineup that was doing really well in the second half. Granted, the Pacers went up 24 within the first half, and that's when I stopped watching them.
Yeah.
The Bucks were still turning it over within the first 3 minutes of the second half. But Kevin Porter Jr., Giannis, AJ Green, Gary Trent, Bobby Portis. That lineup was able to help the Bucks get back into the game somewhat, but they gotta consistently make their shots. They started missing shots towards the end. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's you got some pieces. Like KPJ is nice. AJ Green gives you spacing. Gary Trent can do some stuff off the dribble.
Yeah.
It's like how do you consistently get that out of these guys?
Mm-hmm.
Because one
Yeah.
day they're all hitting and the Bucks look like the greatest team on earth. Next game is just like it's the Giannis
No.
show. And what we saw in game one was the Giannis show.
Jeez. Yeah. Yep. So that'll be the game I'm more watching. This OKC Grizzlies game is now a 19-point game with 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Never mind 17. But yeah, I guess big thing to note from game one is the beef between Tyrese Halliburton and Dame. They're talking. Dame is in street clothes talking to Tyrese. I think Tyrese might have said something to up to or at or about one of the Bucks players. So real of Dame to kind of step up and be like, "Yo, you can't say that about my guys." But glad he's back. Hit his first shot, which was a 3. Pretty fire. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a tough series for them, but we'll see how this game goes. I'm excited.
Very tough series that we're seeing in Boston for the Magic's perspective. They lost 103 to 86. Admirable effort to hold the Celtics to that much, considering the amount of firepower they have. But game one, I didn't watch much, but it told me all about like the impact that an all-star guard who was once in Milwaukee has on the reigning champions. Like Drew Holiday, and Drew, this is he had 9 points. Jason Tatum didn't have his best game.
He got
It was the
injured.
Derek White show, but like,
Mm-hmm.
man, did Holiday have this is a prime example. He doesn't have to have 10 points to have an impact. Like, he's like driving Franz Wagner mad, like on screens and stuff like that. Running in transition, hitting a step back three on the opposite end of that turnover he created. That's the kind of plays he can give the Celtics team in the playoffs.
Yeah. Big thing, I think Davies Caldwell-Pope closed out a certain way, and Jason Tatum kind of tweaks his wrist. He was doubtful for this game. I don't know if he's. Oh, that's tomorrow. I don't know if he's playing. So that's an interesting thing that could affect them. Yeah. Jaylen Brown, I don't know how his knee's doing. I had another game I didn't really watch, but interesting point that I heard was Paolo. I think when Paolo was like matched up a certain way, the Magic were actually up at half. So that's interesting, but it's what we expect, or at least what I expect. The Boston Celtics are just kind of going to roll through this. This is Orlando season's kind of lost. All the
I don't know. I don't know about that, dude. Because the one thing that Jaylen Brown pointed out is like the Magic were more physical than them in the first half. That's why they had the lead. So if the Magic tap into that, they can get a game or two on here. I'm not saying they're going to win the series.
Okay, yeah.
But I would not, if I'm the Celtics, I would not feel comfortable even if I win the first 2 games. Because I have this feeling it's going to be one of those like home advantage games. And it's just going to come to like pure physical exertion effort. And if you have Brown and Tatum ailed like they are, you better have the rest of these guys ready to play physically. Because it's going to rely on like 8 or 9 players that the Celtics have and have proven championship level players that they can get it done. They're going to have to get all their energy out to win the series. I don't think it'll be like the Thunder Grizzlies series. That's all I'm saying here.
Oh, definitely not to that extent, or even the Cavs Heat series. I think it's going to be like Thunder Grizzlies, like that's the quickest one. Cavs Heat, Magic Celtics, given that vibe. So, yeah, I don't expect too much, but I'm down for the Magic to get a game or two. I have a friend out there in Orlando. He's from here.
That's the reason. Oh my god.
No, but like I could just see him there, like having a good time. He's like he like literally has like a. I don't know if he already had a Paolo jersey before he moved. I think he did.
He went off. He had a great game. 35 points, I think.
Jeez, I mean, my man can score however he wants. It's just, can he make others better off that? That's the real question.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. I'm gonna tap into some of these games, see what the action's about. But Diego, do you have anything else to say to the group here?
I don't know. To the group, just enjoy it. If
for me, it's just watch the Nuggets and the Clippers. Just watch that.
That as well.
That's the best basketball you're gonna get from the series.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna peep the first half of this Lakers game. It's just, I'm just so happy that I don't have to worry about Luka playing defense anymore. Like, it doesn't affect me. That's the happiest thing for me. Obviously, Luka's a great player, but it would just piss me off. So,
is that you, Nico Harrison?
Yo, I'm never gonna condone the trade. I will never condone the trade. But I agree with the general concept of defense winning championships. I don't agree with whatever in the world Nico Harrison is doing. That article was disgusting. Just, God, like, general incompetence. And it's just so stupid. So stupid. You have something that works, and then you're just insecure and like, oh, like, Luka might not. Luka doesn't want to do what I say. Oh my God, I have to train him ways the fat pig. God, it's just so stupid. Like, I even didn't like the whole defense thing. I kept saying every offseason, like, what if Luka comes back he just ripped and he's locked in. It didn't happen, but I was just like, whatever. Like that was just my hope.
Yeah.
Stupid. I'm telling you, if you put me in there, I'm not doing anywhere close to anything as stupid as that. So
Everybody, get Diego to be the Mavs GM ASAP. He's
easy.
gonna bring Luka back and make things right.
Oh, that. I mean, I think that's the thing people are saying on Twitter is that like Dirk especially, like for sure Dirk is like completely alienated from the team, and people have like sold or canceled their season tickets, and they're like, we're not going back until Nico's out. So if y'all need an option, I got nothing going on.
Alrighty, that'll do it for us, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Diego cope with that sad moment there, but follow us at Amon.a.mission on Instagram.
Yeah.
Amon Missions, where you get our
Thanks,
full-length
this one.
videos.
No,
We hope you enjoy
yes.
the games, and we hope you find this as fascinating as the Nuggets and the Clippers going on right now.
Mhm.
Great time to be a basketball fan. So then,
For
see
sure.
you guys later.
See ya.